And we are live on your favorite Joy Prime Television. It's 4 days to Christmas. Can you believe it?
No, I can't.
I mean, we just literally started the year and we are here. 4 days today is 21st of December.
Oh, wow.
And I cannot wait. I don't know what packages Yao has in store for me. But yeah, I'm really expectant of gifts.
Don't worry.
Of packages.
Don't worry.
Because he's been going round and round and round, giving people gifts, except his better half. And he will sit on this television and call me his better half. And on social media as well. Like, I don't understand.
You saw the post.
What kind of better half? Yes, I saw the post. I decided not to respond because the better half only ends on social media, not in actions, nothing else.
But we've been meeting at our places.
Please, we have not been meeting. I'm saying this on category. Like, we have not been meeting.
Who have you met? Because anytime I say it, it's like...
Because you have not been treating me like a soft girl. I don't wish.
Oh, I have. Come on.
Please,
don't worry.
You have it.
This Christmas, I promise to give Noella a special gift, similar to the one she gave me on my birthday. And so, why?
You are such a petty human being. He's so petty, it's so not funny. Like, it's not funny.
No, but he gave me a gift on my birthday.
What gift? I didn't give you any gifts, please.
It was a wish. So I wish you Merry Christmas. And
so you're a tit for tat person?
No.
Anyway.
I'll multiply it for you.
I hear you, no problem.
Did you listen to the song? They said Mary Sabidas.
I did. It's such a funny, humorous song. But of course, Christmas is all about happiness. We're excited over here on your favorite Church Diary show. If you're watching us for the first time, well, you're welcome. Please be, a regular viewer of the show. We come your way every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And we're done. And we talk about everything. We talk about important societal issues. We talk about transport-related issues as well, because why not? It's one of the sectors that is really neglected until...
election time.
The CEO of Church Diaries came along. And so, prepared to be wowed, be entertained, and of course to be informed as well. I'm Noella Karen Yali, and I'm here with...
No, continue.
I'm here with my better half on social media and TV until the actions speak.
That's a very ambiguous statement.
Yes.
Until the actions speak.
The actions
There can be different types of actions.
Like what? Don't be naughty.
As A.B. Crentel said, you or no. Anyway, guys, so today we're going to have a very exciting show.
Yeah, we are.
Noella, as usual, is looking great.
Thank you.
Today is sponsored by who?
Myself. Me, myself, and I.
Okay.
Yeah.
As usual, I'm also sponsored by
Cantamanto
Boutiques. And today we're going to have a very interesting conversation. We're talking about fire. We're talking about Harmattan. We're talking about Christmas, right? As we can all see, this year the Harmattan has come. I think for the other couple of years, it's been, the Harmattan has been doing soft girl kind of things, but this time it's really here. So we're going to have conversations around that. We've been talking about safety. Now, Harmattan or fires are the things that can also be a very serious impact on our safety.
And I dare say that we aren't educated enough about fire. I mean, prior to me coming on air, the fireman who will be interviewing very shortly was talking about the high rise of fire cases. As of this morning, they got more than 20 calls, which means that it's alarming. It's one of the topics we do not pay attention to, but it's really important. And so we're going to be educating ourselves on the show today, right here on Church Diaries.
Yeah, and just to correct that, not 20 calls, 20 incidents.
Right.
Because when it comes to calls, we'll have a separate conversation on it, because I spent some time there, and it was crazy. It was crazy. But anyway, you're welcome to the Church Diaries TV show. You can tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. on TV, online on Joy Prime Facebook channel as well, and then also on YouTube.
And do not forget, we are proudly sponsored and partnered by Hisense Ghana. If you're watching and you probably do not know about Hisense, trust me, you're living under a rock. Because Hisense is a popular, company. They're into appliances. Talk of your living room appliances, kitchen appliances, TV sets, ACs,
fridges,
mobile phones, blenders, what have you. The last time I checked, my producer says they even sell vibrators. But yeah, we'll take that on the low, please. I'm not sure. We'll take that on the low, okay. I don't know what you're talking about. So let's go for a quick commercial break. We're taking a breather at this point. When we come back, it's fireworks right here on Chocho Diaries.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back to the best show on TV. If you are not watching this show, then Charlie, you're not watching TV at all. It is the Chocho Diaries TV show on Joy Prime. We are back. Today we're talking about fire, Harmattan, and Christmas. Somebody say, how are they connected? Don't worry, you get to know shortly. But of course, we can't start the show without talking about Christmas, as you can see. I just bought a Christmas tree that I brought it to the studio after I'm taking it home because I've never asked for the price of Christmas tree before. Anyway, we spoke to some people on the streets, drivers, mates, passengers, to ask how their year has been and to talk about Christmas. We'll have a short video for you. We'll go for that, and then when we come back, we're going to get into the conversation. Remember, once again, the show is proudly brought to you by Hisense. TVs, fridges, everything. Hisense is the place. Christmas, Brunya. Who will be right back.
We wish you a Merry Christmas from Joy Prime to you. We wish you a Merry Christmas here on Chocho Diaries.
Oh, I'm a child, and I'm a papa, guide abo, Michiao, and I'm a mom official, and I'm a Anita, and I'm a Carol Mensa, Michiamunina, and I'm a Midofo.
I mean, finding out I'm a street boy. But I see a few in and we say, Akuyama, Yanko.
Wow. But now, who are some well wishes and I say some lovely message I would be ma obi oda wakuma subia.
Me wo asama me wo de edam akoma so ampese me de madofo nyina ne se ewiase no wo ye bibia menhwe menhwe bonkuma na nimfa mentie di obi so beka se me tie ni obi kan nka me nka besi an nka nya bebia maduni because me hwe bebia me fi pa na bebia ma ba beduna we say nya kopon na ye bi ntini so wo ye obi a pe wasama bibia ni hwe obi am penasa na
So give us a very sweet Christmas carol that you love so much.
Okay, my Christmas carol is joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every man rejoice.
This is a remix version.
What are you singing? Sing well.
Heavenly nations or nature sing. Clap for me. No, clap.
No, clap. No.
Okay, you sing it and let's see.
No, I'm not.
Sing it and let's see.
No, I have to prepare first. I'm not.
Anyway, that was very interesting conversations and well wishes from
very sweet as well. Very
from the street,
sweet.
yeah. And so we are also wishing the production team, our producer that has been introducing us to Hisense what?
Almighty. Almighty Martin.
Yeah.
Who he's the only person producing vibrators at Hisense. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I had to say that.
Producer,
and kudos to him to always, he's been I don't know what he's been corrupting our minds every day when we're speaking, when we're having interviews. He will say something off the track in our ears, and a year by this time.
Yeah.
May people be able to hear the things that you say in our ears on air. Yeah, that's my wish for him.
So whenever you hear me laughing without anything going on, that's what's happening.
That's what's going
Something is going on in the ear.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, it's Christmas. We're wishing you and your loved ones, our entire team, the mic team, lighting, director, producer, the guests that have been on the show.
Very important people that
very,
play
Merry Christmas.
Integral roles on the show. They're like the unsung heroes. We often don't give them their flowers, but yeah, they should know that their flowers are in our hearts. We just don't get to say it. But yeah, as we are wrapping up the year, it's just important and nice and fair that we give them all their beautiful flowers. So yeah, so Nats today, Nats is the one on duty. Hi, Nats. Okay, it's okay.
Now I'm scared of you. Now I'm scared of you. Anyway, so today we're having a conversation, fire, Harmattan and Christmas. And this is a very interesting conversation because
interesting.
I think a couple of weeks, or about a month now, I spent some time at the National Fire Service head office, and I almost fought. We'll talk about it. But today we have ADO Assistant Divisional Officer Alfred Kenate. Alex, Kenate. I think we've gotten too excited on the show. We have to calm down.
Right.
Anyway, we have him with us. Today we're talking about fire, Harmattan, and Christmas. Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Or you won't accept honorable because they'll say honorable. Why are you?
Honorably winning.
Anyway, you are welcome to the
Thank you very much. Show. Good to see you. I'm glad I'm flanked by a beautiful lady and handsome gentleman.
Thank you for acknowledging just me because
I know the handsome gentleman. They just Adam because if you know Adam, it will be obvious.
I should say if I know Adam, you will take me off the show.
But anyway, before we start our conversation, in the spirit of Christmas, you have to sing a carol.
Yes.
Ish, with this voice.
Yeah, you can. Ish. Or talk the carol.
Mary. After the show, let me read.
After the show, that's it.
The way you said it, Mary, I thought I was going to sing it. Mary Sabina.
But you're welcome to Church Diaries. I mean, this topic, again, I think it's one of the most important, but neglected as well. I think the education about fire, especially in this country, is very, very low. I mean, when you walk into houses, it's rare. Fire extinguisher is very rare, which is what we're seeing on our screens right now. They are very rare, but they're important. The people don't even know how to use it. The people that have it in your homes, they don't know how to use it. Should something happen, they would want to call maybe a gardener or somebody who will come and, operate the fire extinguisher. So I'm very happy that we get to have this part of the conversation on the show today. And so I'm going to start the conversation by basically asking you, how many years have you been an officer?
About 5 years now.
About 5 years.
Yes.
Your rank, ADO. What is that? What is that?
Assistant Divisional Officer 1.
Okay.
That's equivalent to a DSP in police or a captain in the
branch. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. To a penny pa.
Oh, a big man.
Small.
Shouts to you. So you've been doing this work for 5 years.
Yes.
If I should ask you one intriguing thing about fire, what would that be?
The fact that you go to a fire scene, you see people bent beyond recognition. You can't cry. The work must go on, and you'd have to still put yourself together to do the work. You see people's homes bent, people even bent in the process, and yet you have to find a way to carry them, detach your emotions from it. And the fact that as firefighters in Ghana, I salute everybody because you don't have any health insurance. So as a fire officer, you go and then you die or something happens to you and it's you and your God. Wow. We inhale buildings that people would go in, people when they see fire running out, we go into the fire with little protection because you are in the fire. You are trying to stop the fire from spreading. The smoke is engulfing. Maybe your breathing apparatus, that's just about 15 minutes there. This fire will take about 2 hours, and yet within 15 minutes, your breathing apparatus is exhausted. You can't say your breathing apparatus is exhausted, so
the job can't go on.
You still have to be in. And you see firefighters at the peril of their lives sacrificing. One thing that again strikes me is, I think West Legon, our officers went to fight a fire, a building collapsed on them, and till now, a lot of them are traumatized. And it's sad. I drive there and I see they are rebuilding the building and then they've put up for rent there, and yet our officers who put their lives on the line to salvage the whole place have been neglected. Wow. Not even a thank you from the same people that we rescue. All we get are insults from people, and we are
which is what I am coming to. But before I ask you that particular question, has there been any instance where you go to put out a fire and some of your officers, get engulfed and lose their lives, by that same fire?
So a lot of them have been critically injured. Death, in recent times, but critically injured, we have. You'd see people who are bent as a result of the fire. Most of the time, our officers, if you're lucky to live beyond 45 years, you should thank God.
Wow.
Yes, because by the age of 45, a lot of them will go to the hospital and will be told by the doctors to stop smoking. These people have never smoked a day in their lives. But due to the kind of smoke they inhale, you know, it's crazy. So you see people, by the time they go on pension, instead of enjoying their retirement, they go to hospitals in and out because they have to spend, you know, the time trying to take care of themselves. You know, and they are the unsung heroes. I should have brought a documentary. Maybe the next time I'll bring a documentary where people talk about how traumatized it was. The guy, one of the guys who the building collapsed on at West Legon, when I engaged him, he said he's not even able to take in tea because he's scared of the heat. Because, you know, yes.
Wow.
So if he has to take in tea, he has to wait till it's totally cold before he can take it.
So in the service, do you guys have some sort of like a psychologist, somebody that takes you through? Because what you're saying is very traumatizing. And for the magnitude of the work, especially and the kind of traumas someone can get through working like that. What do you guys do? What mechanisms are put in place to negate or at least, you know, balance
the trauma?
Yeah, the work life.
So in recent times, we've established the psychology department. Though young, we are trying to take our officers through it. When you talked about I remember the one thing my boss told me, that there was an accident at, you know, we don't only do fires. Whenever there are accidents, it's still fire service. When people are trapped in vehicles. So our officers went to an accident scene and one woman was there, the head was cut off. We found the body, they couldn't find the head. So the officer in charge was, you know, looking for the head with the torchlight. And when the torchlight fell on the head, he told one junior officer, my friend, go and bring that head there.
Oh my God.
You know,
Wow.
And the person has to just go there, carry the head, like the human head, you know, because we have to put it together and then hand it over to the police. Personally, unfortunately, the East Legon girls incident, I was there.
Oh my God.
I was there. I was as close as the way I am with you. That's how close I was to seeing these bodies, you know, and it's people ask me how.
Were you the one that went live on the fire service page?
Yes.
Because I think I heard your voice. It's
my voice.
Yeah.
You know, and as much as we've apologized and all and given reasons, I believe our video, as even though it was criticized, is the reason people got to know of this incident and attracted that large public outcry. Because other than that, people didn't have heard about it or wouldn't have appreciated the magnitude
of what had happened.
You know, so as much as our motive was not to disrespect the bodies, we often want to draw people's attention to the kind of work we do, the risk we go through, and as a way of education. So unfortunately, I guess, but then again, there was a silver lining where it helped to make sure that people followed keenly the issue, and you know the outcome that came was able to draw the kind of debate that should draw from people.
So bringing the conversation into the season that we're entering, right? Because I think one thing that we all have agreed on now is this year, the Harmattan is actually crazy. I was checking EPA, their page, and they've been monitoring the, I think the air quality or something, and it's bad. I mean, we've all felt it. And so
Harmattan is the same as hazy, right? Haze or something, right?
I think the Harmattan comes with some winds. Oh, okay. And so sometimes there's some potential health risk. I think now it's at as at the last time I saw it, it was at 10 something, which is getting a bit critical. So I think there's a fire side of the conversation and all that. So maybe if you can help us paint a picture of how it's looking like. You were telling us about this morning and all that.
Yes. So generally, when there's Harmattan, there's general dryness in the air. There's dry winds blowing here and there. There's lack of humidity in the atmosphere. So you realize that even if you put your plantain or any food down, within a few minutes it dries up. So that same way, these leaves, for instance, or any other thing that's combustible, which is supposed to be able to withstand heat, will now be susceptible to heat because it's dry. So when things are dry like that, the tendency of it starting a fire is so easy and so quick. So then it ends up making fires spread so easily. So during Harmattan seasons, as a service, we get very, very busy with fires. This dawn to this morning, about 20 fires or more.
Wow.
Accra and Tema alone. Kumasi, Eastern region, and I have not yet seen those ones yet.
And are these home fires? Are these on the streets? What kind of fires are we?
It cuts across.
Okay.
Because at Teshi, for instance, I think there was, I think it's behind St. Teresa's this dawn, there was a container that was burning. Our team from Circle attended. Around Tema New Town, wooden structures. This dawn, a lot. I've lost count. Trust me, I couldn't sleep. Because whenever I'm sleeping and I hear, you know, I just have to wake up and listen. And I couldn't sleep. It kept coming.
And per your investigations, what are some of the common causes of these fires?
I would say negligence on the part of people. Okay, people seem to, I'm sure someone will tune their TV right now, see a fire officer and change the channel.
Which is one of the, actually, hold on. Because, you know, I've been listening to him keenly, and there's no question about how important, the important role they play in our society. Yet, your service is the most vilified. You have a lot of people sharing negative stories about the fire service. And our house caught fire, and we called them, and they took an hour to get here. And even when they got here, they told us they don't even have water in their cannons or whatever. And these things, you would hear it, and this person is speaking about it. You know, they're taking videos about it, and so it's easier to believe them. It's easier to believe that indeed the service is a bit questionable. What do you think about that? How would you respond to that?
It's unfortunate that people take pride in negative news. We save people on a daily basis. There's never been a time when we've gone to a fire scene and I've not been able to put out a fire. People never shoot videos to talk about the work we've done. Personally, I've been to fire scenes. People will be saying, oh, Yamin Shamo, Kwashiman fire, for instance. When I was leaving, oh, Yamin Shamo, idea. People would always, but unfortunately, nobody wants to come out to say, oh, my idea. You see, and you go and people would, personally, there was a fire around Dankwa Circle, this nightclub next to Palace Pharmacy. I've forgotten the name of the nightclub, at Dankwa Circle. And it caught on fire. And the owner of Palace Pharmacy, I'm sorry if I'm putting him on the spot, but he called me, and then I was at the office so quickly. Our team got there. Less than 5 minutes we were there. The man couldn't stop praising us. So I asked permission to shoot him to get a video of him.
Yeah, because obviously, if you're not going to say thank you to me, I might as well blow my own horn, right?
And you know, but he didn't. And there are a lot of people who have witnessed our good deeds who are not ready to come on air. But then the people who have malicious thinking are the ones who are always taking videos. You know, to really, what they should bear to know is that one, for about almost 15 years now, fire service hasn't received a single fire tender.
Fire what?
Tender.
Tender.
The truck.
Okay.
The truck that we used to fight fire. For our tenders are almost 15 years old. And
wait,
so,
sorry, just to paint a picture, so 15 years, that's like, what?
15 years ago,
so the last time,
old trucks.
So the last time we received new fire tenders were under President Atamel's time.
Wow.
Yes. And so these tenders, just like your cars, you use a car and for a short period, it gets spoiled. Mind you, these fire tenders can go to about 3 or 4 fires in a day.
Again, please, for those of you watching who do not know what tenders are, because I have my phone and I asked the question. The tracks, the tracks that fire service officials come to your home with to put out fires.
So the truck that they come, you have the water
basically,
in and those.
Yeah.
And the thing that was coming to mind when you mentioned that was, I was just literally imagining the number of V8s that we have bought from that time to now. And I think it's sad because, so we spent some time at their office actually studying what they do. We put out some posts. And then just as you were saying, people were saying the negative stuff. And I saw one very unfortunate incident, I think it was this week, where a fire truck went somewhere and the people were just pelting them with stones and sticks. So the driver had to get out and run away.
But you know, Yao, to be fair, there have also been, and you know, now it makes it difficult for me to talk about this because for him to even tell us now that some of the tenders they have are 15 years old, it means they don't have the right apparatus to also aid an effective work. Because like I was about to say, I have seen videos where there's a raging fire, and the hose, the hose that is being used to put out the fire, like the water does not even go close to where the fire is. Like they're trying to pump out the fire. I don't understand.
Okay, so let me quickly explain that one. So you see, when we get to a scene, sometimes there's this funny misconception among fans Siamba. Not that they're fans Siamba. These same people that will say I'm fans Siamba, you see them carrying buckets from water that we provide from our tank. These fire for the water to come out through the hose, they need to be propelled with the engine. So when the fire tenders are old, most of the time, these pumps, what we call pumps, the pump propels the water out. The pump normally, malfunctions a lot of times because it's old. Because a station can go to about 3, 4, 5 fires in a day. And whenever they go, the engine has to be on throughout the time that they are still fighting a fire, because the engine is what propels the pump to bring out the water. So because it's old, we can come in the morning, do our checks. It's a machine, it's old. You get to a fire scene, and then the pump is not strong enough to be able to to propel the water out from the pump through the hoses. We don't take pride. See, every fireman's joy is to be able to come to a fire scene, put out a fire, and people are happy and able to salvage things. That's our biggest joy. No fireman would want to come to a fire scene and then see things destroyed and be happy. No way. When it happens that way, we get back to the base and everybody's moody.
So we'll come back to these issues. I think one of the things we want to do, one of the things I personally observed was that people are not informed or educated. And as you said, they'll tune in, they see it, and then they move on. But now we have like people that are tuning in today. We want to focus in a bit on the home in terms of what are the causes, what are the information we can give to people to protect themselves and their families. Because now the kids are also at home. Exactly. There's fires. I have a personal experience, right? I mean, I can talk about it because it's a bit, when we were younger, I was in GSS back then. My dad used to be a timber contractor. And I don't know whether it was Christmas time or something, but it was dry. He would usually bring the fuel barrels home. We had the fuel barrel at home. And at that time, we had seen on TV, you know, those times, I think it was close to Christmas. If you get some of the petrol, you put styrofoam in, it becomes something like glue. Okay. And you can use it for these, you know, those times, that white paper, you cut the white paper, you do some chain. We're doing that, we watched some video, went to get some, and they were like, oh yeah, let's play. Like we had watched a movie where, you know, when they shoot, the fire comes from the tip of the gun. So we picked some of it, dipped the stick, lit it on fire, and then I was calling another brother to come see. So I gave the fuel that was in a small container to my younger brother. Unfortunately, because it was also, I think it was Harmattan, I remember it was very dry. The fumes, and I haven't told this story in a long time, the fumes and the fire connected. He got shocked, threw it, and that's how I lost my younger brother. I'll say, may he continue to rest in peace. Wow. So I think it's very important we share this.
Very traumatic.
Yeah, it's very important we share this education.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the people at home, the kids at home, what information, how can we teach them to prevent such incidents?
Okay, so sorry to infer from your experience, so then I'll go back to your experience. The first mistake people make is to keep combustible or fuel, like highly inflammable stuff at home, such as petrol. Someone might probably have gas cylinder. Someone might probably have a fuel that keeps to power their generators at home. Please do not keep it in the storeroom. Do not even keep it at home. Go and buy it when you need it, but do not keep it at home. Again, also, the kids. Again, sorry to still be referring. I think it's a way for us to learn going forward, so that no one shares such a traumatic experience again in the future. So one thing also is that with the kids coming back home from vacation, parents should let kids know that matches are not toys. Matches are not toys. Because I'm sure if your parents were around and probably had kept the matches far away from you, maybe that incident.
Which makes me frown upon people that sell knockouts, especially to kids.
Yesterday,
if you want to sell knockouts, sell it to adults.
Yeah. Yesterday, we responded to a similar fire, a crown fire. Crown fire involves fire with it, like on a tree, and the cause was that knockout that had gone onto the tree and was spreading to the house. So officers attended to that fire just yesterday. So when you said knockouts, it just came to mind.
So how do we curb that? Because, like I said, it's also, I'm scared of it.
And even the knockout thing too, it caused a fire in a school at Harmattan somewhere last month. Wow. Yes, the students were using the knockouts in the classroom, and then, because it was a wooden ceiling, it went up and it bent the classroom at Harmattan.
Wow. So, viewers, if you're watching, we definitely also want to hear your experiences. Share with us. You can join via Zoom. The Zoom ID is on your screens. Join and let us know what is happening in your community, what has been your experience, what are you seeing out there, and then add your voice to the conversation. So, Eddie.
Okay, so one, knockouts. If knockout, there's been a regulation against the use of knockouts,
but it's not effective.
Ghana we did. People will still find ways around to circumvent the system. If you do find a way to circumvent the system, please, if you have to, use it in a very responsible and controlled manner. Avoid using it in an area that's populated by people. If you have to use it, the key word is if you have to use it, look for a park, where
open
space, so that the risk of fires or it's affecting someone is
which means it's not advisable to do it in a residential area.
It's a bad idea.
Because it could go any direction.
Exactly. Right? And looking at the fact that the atmosphere is very dry, it can start a fire. Also realize that even some of the roofing that we use are made of plastic. They are very, so I would want to bring in this point against indiscriminate burning. You realize that someone will be somewhere burning stuff here, and you even find the person burning it because the person has started the fire and just left. So the fire would just be flying, so what we call embers, the black thing that flies out, embers. So they can easily fall on any combustible thing. They can fall on your car, they can fall on a roof, that's made of plastic. And then because you don't know that it's falling on it, we have what we call smoldering. So it will take its time to burn gradually. So when you least expect it or when you're not home, boom.
It catches fire. How about in our kitchens, in our private homes, in this season? What are we to do to be on the lookout, and what kind of measures can we take to avoid fire in our homes?
Okay, so I'll go back to the kids. We should keep the kitchen locked away from the kids. Because kids have short attention spans. They like to play a lot. So a kid can go into the kitchen, turn the knob to the stoves, and then wouldn't probably put it off.
It recently happened to me, actually.
Whoa.
My brother was cooking. He loves to cook, and I like to support him. So he was cooking, and I think he forgot to turn off the gas. So I was deeply asleep. And then I smelled this very, strong gas thing.
Wow.
And so I panicked and I went into the kitchen and, the thing was on. Wow. So imagine if someone was smoking or something, maybe a fire.
But I hope you didn't put on the lights when you went to the kitchen.
No, I didn't.
So that was a good thing.
I didn't.
So that's the next
I quickly just put off the knob and I opened
the
window.
So it means that at least she has some knowledge about fires. Yeah. So it's good you didn't put her on the lights. Because then for fires to happen, there are three things that come together in its rightful proportion for fires to start. Fuel, heat, and oxygen. So the fuel is this gas that at that time had engulfed the whole area. Oxygen is all around us. So the light there could have easily been a source of heat. That if it had been introduced into this equation, could have easily
started the fire. It would have sparked the fire.
And it would have caused an explosion and it would have spread. So when...
And then another incident where this one, I caused it myself. Can you imagine?
Confession.
I caused it myself. I go home from work very tired. This happened like 2 or 3 years ago. I got home from work very tired. my heater wasn't working because I wanted to take a warm bath. So I had to do the traditional one.
The beast.
Which is like...
warm bath. What is warm bath?
Did you boil it? Okay, so I intended to boil water, which I did. But because I was so tired, I got into my room to just, take off my clothes and I forgot. I slept. Wow. So the water had boiled to the point where there was no water in the pan, and it was just the pan on the fire. So I woke up and my whole room is like very
it's a very funny smell.
I said and the whole place is like the walls are dripping with, liquids. Then it clicked at E.
Wow.
So I just went, God actually loves me, and I went to, so since then, for like 8 months after that incident, I couldn't use the gas because I was traumatized. I was scared. So really,
I'm happy these personal experiences are helping me make my work easier. So unattended cooking is one of the things that we again advise people against. People will cook and then you don't cry, you were tight. Someone will go out and be doing a concert. Someone and forget. In common band, if you say
social media distractions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And please do not use your kitchens. Try to avoid using your phones in the kitchens or so close to the burners.
I'm such a guilty person.
I think this is a very important point we have to come back to. We'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll continue this. Phones in the kitchen, and then we'll talk about, okay, if the fire starts, what can people do as well? Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, so we are back. We've been talking about fire, Christmas, and Harmattan. Just before we went off, we're talking about using your phones in the kitchen, the hazard it can pose. And then we're also going to be talking about what happens if there's a fire, what you need to do, how you can address the fire. And so, ADO, we can quickly touch on the phones in the kitchen, and then we can go on to the demonstration.
Okay, so we know that phones, the radiation from the phone can be a source of heat. So especially if you are cooking, the gas is already coming out. Bringing in much fuel. There's oxygen all around us. So once there's the introduction of the radiation from the phone, especially when you're making a call, or you're bombing commode. So you see, there's under fire. So we are dispatching our team and this live on TV. So dispatch Mabel 4 to fire.
Wow.
Mabel 4 to an outbreak of fire at Madala. Correct? Adenta, behind Madala.
You see, and these are the problems we are talking about. There's a fire at Adenta. The tender at Adenta, they are all old. So the tender at Adenta is old.
You know what, ADO, we're probably going to have a part 2 of this conversation where we go into detail some of the challenges that you face and, of course, how we can also negate some of the fire issues. But we have a fire extinguisher in front of us.
Yes.
I'd like for you to, show us how to go about using it. And
okay. We have just about 2 minutes.
All right, sure. All right. So I'll try to do it, and then so we have a common acronym for using every type of extinguisher. Okay. PASS. PASS. So you pull, you aim, you squeeze, and then you spray.
Okay.
So
PASS. PASS. Pull, aim, spray, squeeze, and spray.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So so there are different types of extinguishers, but the ones that are common, very common to all of us, is the carbon dioxide and powder.
Okay.
Whenever to identify them, you identify by the nozzle or by the mouth. So this is the carbon dioxide because it has this wide opening. So this one doesn't leave residues here, so I can even engage it here for you to see.
Okay.
So every fire extinguisher has a safety pin or a safety mechanism. So with this, you turn it and then
Okay.
It comes off.
Okay.
So it means that it's off.
Okay.
So that's where now the acronym comes in.
Okay.
So pull, this is a safety pin. Because with the safety pin there, you realize that if you are picking it up, you won't accidentally engage the extinguisher.
Yeah.
So when someone will see the extinguisher, then when they see fire, they start, oh, Emma. That's because they've not pulled out
the safety
pin. So P,
so we've done the P.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So when there's fire, you see someone standing here and then would be spraying the fire at the top. It doesn't work like that. A friend told me that he saw his landlord was coming with the fire extinguisher when there was fire. And when he was coming from the stairs, he started pressing the thing. So by the time he got there, it has finished.
Yeah.
That's not how it's done. So if this is where the seat of fire is, you aim at the seat of the fire,
Okay.
at the base of the fire, and then you squeeze, and then.
Okay.
So you squeeze and then you spray. But sometimes when you're tackling the fire, they tend to spread.
Okay.
So when you spray it,
You know what?
Please try your hand.
Okay, let me do that to wrap up. So, how do you call it?
Okay.
You just like that, and you squeeze.
Thank you.
I feel like spraying on my enemies right now. I feel like spraying on my enemies right now.
This
but listen,
has been a very good one.
It has, very educative.
Yes.
I think the next time we'll talk about when there's fire. You know what you should do at first if you don't have an extinguisher, or how to escape and hurt during fire.
Awesome stuff. So you should make a date with us next week. This is Chocho Diaries, proudly brought to you by Hisense Ghana. My name is Noella Karen Jali. And next week, we'll have a continuation of this conversation. Bye, guys.
Have a great one, guys.